Hello everyone, this is my passion Malathi. So we are on to the Part-5 SSLC Class-10 Lesson-7, the Freedom Struggle. So what all we discussed in the last 4 parts? Please revise it every time because it's a long chapter as I'm saying in each and every part. So we discussed about Indian National Congress established in 1885 by A.O. Hume. First phase moderates 1885 to 1906. Second phase extremists 1906 to 1920. Partition of Bengal. And who are revolutionaries? What are their roles in the freedom struggle? Guide in lieu. The freedom fighter from which state? From Nagaland, from Naga tribes along with Jadonang. Okay, please remember all this. These are very important points. We'll forget it as we go on reading each and every topic. The last topic will get forget, isn't it? We'll forget the last topic as we go on reading each and every new topic. We'll forget the old topic, isn't it? So please revise. And Gandhian era from 1920 to 1947. And one more thing is I'll post a revision video, a glance video of this lesson because it's a big lesson, right? So I'll post a revision video of everything in a whole chapter in one shot. Okay, so Jallianwala Bagh massacre, uh, Khilafat movement. So till our chapter is finished till now. So next is non-cooperation movement. What is this non-cooperation movement? As you read this name, what you get in your mind? What thoughts are going in your mind? So non-cooperation movement, not cooperating for whom? For the British. Who? Indians. Along with whom? Our father of nation. Who is that? Mahatma Gandhi ji. So let us get on to the topic. What happened in the year 1920? Gandhiji gave a call for a non-cooperation movement. Okay, against the British. In the year 1920, Gandhiji called each and every Indian to fight against the British in the name of non-cooperation movement, in the way of non-violence. Please note it down as it is Gandhiji's protest. Main thing is ahimsa, non-violence. Okay, for this what happened? Students supported by what they did? By abstaining. Means they put on absent to the school. They all came to participate in this movement. So Indian dignitaries are nothing but the lawyers. They resigned from their posts. Okay, so students supported is called by abstaining from schools and colleges. Lawyers remained away from courts. Indian dignitaries returned all the awards given by the British. Lawyers, they did not go to the court. They made a protest. Also Indian dignitaries, those who got award before this movement, who all are given awards by the British, they all returned it to the British itself. In spite of what? In spite of non-cooperation movement. Also, Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das, two very important persons. Please note it down as important. They sacrificed their law careers. What do you understand by this? These two people are lawyers. So they sacrificed their law careers. In this time, what happened? There was a strong opposition to the arrival of British Prince to India. Why he need to come? What is the reason? Is he going to get control of India in spite of all terms? So many questions arise. So there was a strong opposition to the visit of the British Prince. Regarding this, widespread many agitations and protests all over India were happening. At this time, what happened? After seeing this intensity of this juncture, means this agitation, what this British people did, they got fear in their mind. Thousands of people jumped into the freedom struggle. Okay, at Chauri Chaura. This Chauri Chaura incident is very important. Very, very important for 2 or 3 marks. So what happened? British got fear in their mind. They had a plan. I'll tell you what the plan is. Before that, thousands of people came on for strike or protest against the British in Chauri Chaura in Uttar Pradesh in the year 1922. So the British got fear, right? So what this British did, they they brought in the police for what purpose? For attacking the common people. So if police attack the common people, they'll all get silent. This is what the mentality of British. But what happened here? Police used their force against peaceful protesters in the year 1990. Sorry, in the year 1922. So as I said before, these were peaceful protests, and the people were so calm and kind. But these police were rude and harsh. What they did, they used force, they used weapons against these people. So, not like Jallianwala Bagh massacre, this time people enraged. They got on reverse to the British. They attacked back on the British, and what happened here? Police resorted to firing. If people enrage, again the police started firing. They only use their force to beat by this lathi sticks. But this time what happened? They use firing, means they use guns and arms. Also, this enraged the people more. After the guns got over, all the weapons got exhausted. The angry protesters set on fire to the police station. As the weapons all got exhausted, the policemen ran to the police station, ran inside the police station. After they ran up, what these people did, these angry people, they set on fire to the police station. How long will they also see? But this is an cruel incident according to me, because even if British does like that, we should not do, I think. But in another way, even I think that it's okay. They killed how many people in Jallianwala Bagh massacre? Quick, 379 people. But here only 22 policemen died. It's a kind of violence, not non-violence. It's a kind of inhumanity, but also we are Indians, right? So let us get on to the topic. So these people set on fire to the police station. After that, 22 policemen died in this police station. They were burnt alive. This incident is termed as Chauri Chaura incident in history. These all incidents happened. This was not acceptable by Gandhiji, as he liked what? Non-violence, ahimsa. Though British government was pleaded by Gandhiji that he is not in the crime, means this Chauri Chaura incident, he was put in jail for 6 years. But in 1924 itself, he was released due to his serious health condition. So 1999 Act. I'm so sorry. 1919 Act. What is 1919 Act? Diarchy was formed. Election in India was first proposed, isn't it? This time what happened? With an intention of contesting in the future, Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das along with some other congressmen established Swaraj Party in 1923. Please mark it as important. I'm skipping some lines because it's not much important. However, since the atrocities and injustice by the British were continuing, some congressmen rejected the act. Though some of them accepted this, the atrocities, the inhuman things done by the British, and injustice, not giving proper judgment or not treating the Indian people well, was not acceptable by the congressmen, and they rejected this act. In the year 1923, Swaraj Party was established by Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das. So I said them as important people because Swaraj Party is a very, very important one, along with other congressmen. Through this party, they wanted to enter the legislative assembly and oppose the policies of the British from within. In the subsequent Belgaum Conference held in 1924, Gandhiji approved of the plan of the Swaraj Party and accepted it as a part of the Congress plan. Thus, Swaraj Party became a part of Congress. Though these people established Swaraj Party in 1923, only when after 1 year, only after the Belgaum Conference 1924, Gandhiji approved the plan of the Swaraj Party and it became the part of Congress plan. Okay. According to the Government of India Act of 1919, there was a proposal to appoint a commission at the end of 10 years. This commission was to examine the impact of the 1919 Act, suggest suitable changes if needed, and submit it to the government. Accordingly, in 1927, the British government appointed the Simon Commission under the leadership of John Simon. This commission did not have a single Indian as a member. Treating it as an insult to India, the Congress boycotted the Simon Commission. There were widespread demonstrations during the visit of Simon to India. The people started shouting, "Simon, go back." Wherever the Simon Commission went, it witnessed demonstrations, hurdles, and agitations. During this time, Lala Lajpat Rai, who was the leader of the movement, died after being injured in police scanning. This made the Indians fight more intense. Okay. This para, what it says is, after the proposal that after the establishment of 1919 Act, Government of India Act, what happened, there was a proposal, means there was a rule that after each and every 10 years, this what verification of this act, means what's that, examination of this act, examination or verification, whatever we say, to check whether the act is useful or make any amendments, as we have so many amendments in the constitution. Even if this act needs any amendments in that, to check that, a commission was appointed. It was called Simon Commission 1927 by the British government. But what happened, this government was under the leadership of John Simon, a person, one Indian, not only one Indian was the member of this commission. This is the main drawback for Indians. So what will happen if British does against the Indians? Indians will boycott it. The same happened here. They boycotted Simon Commission. Wherever the Simon Commission went, the places all became bloodshed. There were widespread protests against the Simon Commission. When John Simon came to India, people shouted that Simon go back. It's a important expression. Please note it down as important. Okay. During this period itself, Lala Lajpat Rai, by the police hurtles and agitations and police scanning. Police scanning is nothing but police lathi charge. By their cruel work, Lala Lajpat Rai died during this time. This made Indians fight much more intense because he was one of the extremists. As soon as he died, Indians fought more intense. Do you know this box is there? On January 1st, 1930, Jawaharlal Nehru hoisted the Indian tricolour on the banks of River Ravi. These may come for exam. These are the 1 mark questions. Not only inside the textbook. Do you know this? And know these boxes are very much important. Okay. On which day Jawaharlal Nehru hoisted the tricolour on the banks of River Ravi? January 1st, 1930. With an intention to reduce the hatred towards the government. As soon as the commission's work was over, the British government decided to call a meeting of the Indian representatives and have a discussion with them. This result was the Round Table Conference. So the definition for Round Table Conference is to, in order to reduce the hatred towards the government, the British government decided to call a meeting of the Indian representatives and have a discussion with them. This is called Round Table Conference. Okay. In the year 1929, under whose leadership? Jawaharlal Nehru's leadership, Congress session was held in Lahore. During this conference, the Congress declared that Purna Swaraj was their aim. What was the aim of Lahore session 1929? Purna Swaraj. On January 26, 1930, the Congress celebrated Independence Day all over the country and supported the Lahore Declaration. This question may be asked because We all know that August 15, 1947 is Independence Day. But when did this Congress people first celebrate? We'll in fluke, we'll write it as August 15, 1947. But the answer is January 26. Remember it as Republic Day. And the year 1930. The Congress people celebrated Independence Day. Okay? For what? For supporting the Lahore Declaration. What is the Lahore Declaration? Purna Swaraj. Where it was held? In Lahore, 1929 session. Okay, this conference entrusted the responsibility of organizing the civil disobedience movement to Gandhiji. This conference, Lahore Conference of 1929, what it entrusted means, it trusted the responsibility of Dandi March, civil disobedience movement, and maybe salt satyagraha, Dandi March. These three are same. Please don't confuse. So what happened in this civil disobedience movement? So I won't read the textbook for this because as it is a long chapter, I can't read each and every line. It will waste time. I'll tell the story. What happened is Gandhiji, after taking the administration of civil disobedience movement, what he did, he submitted a charter of 11 demands to Viceroy Irwin of that time. What that charter had is, he had 11 demands. If his demands were not approved or accepted, he would start civil disobedience movement. But what this fellow Viceroy Irwin did, he did not accept any of that. One of those demands was abolition of tax on salt. As Irwin did not accept the 11 demands charter, Gandhiji started a civil disobedience movement, that is Dandi March from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi in Surat on foot with his followers to produce salt in the seashore in the year 1930. As Irwin did not accept this, Gandhiji went on from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi in Surat with barefoot, with his followers to produce salt in the seashore. As a result of protest, to show that in the non-violent way that we don't need tax on salt, to show that he went to produce salt in the seashore from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi in Surat in the year 1930 with barefoot with his followers. Okay, this event in history is termed as civil disobedience movement or Dandi March. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit ji, Kamala Nehru ji, Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajagopalachari, Babu Rajendra Prasad, and thousands of others who participated in the disobedient movement were arrested. This agitation spread to many parts of the country. So the main protesters or the main people who participated in the civil disobedience movement, question may be asked, who were arrested during the civil disobedience movement? Vijay Lakshmi Pandit, Rajagopalachari, Kamala Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, Babu Rajendra Prasad, and thousands of others. The common people were arrested, and agitation spread to many parts of the country. So, as mentioned earlier, as said before, as we are in which year now? 1930. Okay, so history is like that itself. As we are reading history, we should be in that year and assume what's going on there at that time, what was going. Okay, as per round table conference, isn't it? Round table conference idea was proposed, right? In the year 1930, the first conference was held. This conference result was that British understood that these Indians won't leave us to propose any of the rules or any of the policies without their approval. So we needed to take the permission and participation of Indian leaders. In order to enable them to participate in the conference, Gandhiji and other Congress leaders were released from prison. In order to participate in this roundtable conference, 1930 first roundtable conference, Gandhiji and others, that is Vijay Lakshmi Pandit ji, Kamala Nehru ji, Vallabhbhai Patel ji, Rajagopalachari ji, Babu Rajendra Prasad ji, these people were all released for what? To attend roundtable conference meeting. In this roundtable conference, Gandhiji and Congress didn't refuse to attend the conference because of the rude attitude of British towards the Indians. But representatives of the princely kingdoms, leaders of different communities like B.R. Ambedkar, M.R. Jayakar, Tej Bahadur Sapra, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Srinivas Sastri, and others took part in the conference. But apart from Gandhiji and the Congress members, B.R. Ambedkar, M.R. Jayakar, Tej Bahadur Sapra, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Srinivas Sastri. These five people, what they did, they took part in the conference in order to see what is going to happen. Approval was given to matters like dominion status. Dominion status means democratic status, that India will enjoy its freedom status. Responsible government, that responsible government is nothing but a government towards the welfare of its people. Okay, not this dictatorial government by British, what was happening till the protest. Okay. And caste is representation at the conference. What caste is representation means, here only this caste and all started. This caste is representation, as you can understand, at the conference was given approval. In the first roundtable conference 1930, what were the plans approved? The question may arise. The answer is dominion status, responsible government, and caste is representation at the. As the Congress did not participate here, these approvals were of no use. Okay. In order to bring this INC to the conference, British, what they did, they sent Viceroy Irwin. INC should come to the conference. This was not in favor of Indians, this plan to achieve British objectives. Okay, if Indian people did not come, conference will not happen. If conference did not happen, British can't propose any of its plans and approve, isn't it? So what this people did, British people, they sent Viceroy Irwin to Gandhiji and discuss certain proposals. The result of this discussion, Irwin with Gandhiji, was Gandhiji Irwin Pact in 1939. Pact is nothing but an agreement. Okay, like treaty. Treaty and agreement, pact, all are same. This was in backdrop of what? In backdrop of Congress joining to the session. That is the first roundtable conference in 1930. As Viceroy Irwin met Gandhiji and discussed certain proposals, the result of this discussion was Gandhiji Irwin Pact in 1931. The definition may be asked. Please write down. In the subsequent developments, the Congress gave up its civil disobedience movement and agreed to participate in the second roundtable conference. As first roundtable conference is over, the Congress people said we'll participate in the second roundtable conference. In this second roundtable conference, Muhammad Ali Jinnah and B.R. Ambedkar, as the representative of the Congress, participated. The two paras short explanation I'm going to say now. B.R. Ambedkar in the second roundtable conference asked for separate concept classes itself, not like now. A separate seat is there for depressed classes. He asked for separate constituencies itself. This was not acceptable by Gandhiji. So this roundtable conference was of no conclusions like the previous one. Though these British people, what they did, they accepted his queries and approved that and proposed that depressed classes will get separate constituencies. This was an unhappy thing for Gandhiji and he went on to protest until death. At this time, what happened? Pune agreement was reached. As per this agreement, what happened? Depressed class leaders got what? Reservation. Okay, not the whole constituencies. Reservation. Instead of separate constituencies, by this Pune agreement, some areas were reserved for the depressed classes. Okay, this second roundtable conference was held in 1930 in Mumbai. It is not in the textbook. Please note it down. Any extra information? The British plan was to propose a union government and provincial governments in the state. What is this union government? Union government is nothing but a government in the center, provincial government in the state. Okay, union is whole, province is a small part. Okay. With this intention in mind, it proposed the third roundtable conference in 1932. The Congress were not fed up of this system, this roundtable conference system, and they did not participate in that at all. Okay, the British government had intended to bring about many reforms through the roundtable conference, but it is of no use. It was of no use. The backdrop of 1935, the Indian Government Act was promulgated. As we read in the last semester, 1935 Act, 1919 Act, 1909 Act, these are very important as there is a continuation of this in second sem chapters also. So what was their proposals in this act? Provisions for an Indian union and provincial independence. As Indians got political right in this, the Muslim League Party and Congress participated in elections. Congress won these elections and formed a provincial government. Okay, this is all about civil disobedience movement. Two main chapters, two main topics have been finished. Still, three more big topics are there. I'll finish now. So next, what happened when Second World War started? When Second World War happened, 1939 to 1945. At this time, as a result of political developments in Europe, the Indian Viceroy unilaterally declared war against Germany. This was opposed by the Congress, which walked out of the cabinet. Gandhiji started an agitation opposing the Viceroy's. What happened is here, as a world war started, the British waged war against Germany unilaterally. Sorry, unilaterally. Unilaterally means with its dictatorial part, it declared war against Germany. This was not acceptable to the Congress. They opposed, but this British people, what they wanted India to participate in in that war. So in order to pacify, in order to smoothen the Indians, Stafford Cripps was sent for mediation. This was the backdrop of Quit India movement. It is not related to civil disobedience movement. This Cripps Commission, Stafford Cripps, these terms will come in Quit India movement. We'll see about it now. So now what happened? Second World War started as a result of political developments in Europe. British unilaterally declared war against Germany. This was not acceptable by the Congress and it opposed and walked out of the cabinet. Gandhiji started an agitation against what? Viceroy's decision that India has to participate and Germany against Germany war is going to be declared. In order to smoothen the Indians, Stafford Cripps was sent for mediation. Means for smooth discussions. Mediation is nothing but mediator or middleman. Okay. The British government in the year 1942 sent Stafford Cripps to India for peace talks. Cripps Commission put forward certain suggestions in front of Indians. So, to smoothen the Indians, what were the suggestions put forward in front of Indians were giving dominion status to India. That will give a freedom status to India, forming constituent assembly for the purpose. In order to provide dominion status to India, will form a constituent assembly and giving freedom to the states to either join or remain out of the union. States not like now. Every state is a part of union government of India, right? Not like that. States whatever they wish. If Karnataka is not wishing, it may remain as a provincial state itself. If Andhra has the same decision, it may remain as separate. This is not fair with the Congress people. These three suggestions. What it started on 8th of August 1942, the Congress people started the Quit India movement. This is the backdrop. What happened? What is the backdrop of Quit India movement? World War started. British waged war against Germany unilaterally. This was not acceptable to Congress, and it opposed British proposal and walked out of the cabinet. Gandhiji started an against agitation against this viceroy's decision. Stafford Cripps was sent for mediation. What the Cripps Commission had, that is the commission formed by Stafford Cripps, giving dominion status to India, forming a constituent assembly for this purpose. And one more main point, okay, either states may join or uh, enjoy a separate status as a provincial state. Okay, these suggestions were not acceptable to the Congress, and in spite of this, they started Quit India movement on 8th of August 1942. So, a main slogan now. Gandhiji gave a strong call to Indians that do or die. In Kannada we say Madu illave madi. That is what. Okay, do or die. In this context, many leaders like Gandhiji, Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, Abul Kalam Azad ji, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Acharya Kripalini, Kasturba Gandhi, and others were imprisoned, like Vijay Lakshmi Pandit, Kamala Nehru, etc. People who were arrested in civil disobedience movement. In this Quit India movement, who are all were arrested? Gandhiji, Nehruji, Rajendra Prasad ji, Abul Kalam Azad ji, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji, Acharya Kripalini ji, Kasturba Gandhi ji. Kasturba Gandhi is wife of who? Gandhiji. Kasturba Gandhi ji, all were imprisoned. Since most of the Congress leaders were in jail, the organizations other than the Congress came into the existence, means came into the part of the agitation and came in limelight. Okay, as the Congress leaders were in jail, many other parties came into the show. Okay, so what happened is, as many more various what movement leaders came into the show, Jayaprakash Narayan, a person, assumed the leadership of this movement. Which movement? Quit India movement. As Congress leaders were arrested, as he came into the power, who was he? He was a prominent leader of the socialist wing of the Congress. He was also a member of Congress, but not completely the Congress. Okay, a socialist wing, a part of Congress that is socialist. He was part of that socialist wing. He carried out many revolutionary activities along with his followers throughout India. He was a good person. He carried out many revolutionary activities against the British throughout the India. This time, at this time, a situation happened where the socialists implemented their plans through a group titled the Freedom Struggle Front. A main important point. Socialists implemented their plans through a group titled, what is that? The Freedom Struggle Front. Okay. Through that organization, they imparted training to workers. They urged the people to participate in the freedom struggle. They collected funds and gave a proper direction to the movement. So, what were its objectives? This the freedom struggle front. They imparted training to workers. Okay, how to fight against the British? They gave training to the workers of that group. They urged people to participate in the freedom struggle, like all freedom leaders, like Gandhiji, Bhagat Singh, all urged the people. They called up for the people. They also did the same thing. They collected funds for what? To say what? To collect people, to make a group of people. They need some money, right? Simply they can't travel. Even at that time also we needed money, so they collected those funds and gave a proper direction to the movement. Which movement? Quit India movement. An interesting fact is that war started outside the borders of India for its freedom. Like Pakistan divided from India at that time itself, at 1942 itself, outside the borders of India, many protests started. At this time, Subhash Chandra Bose is the one who stopped. His contributions were unparalleled, means it cannot think. equal for anything. His contribution, okay. After the 1937 elections, like after 1919 Act, elections happened in India in 1937. The Muslim League was not called to participate in the government. At this time, I don't know what happened. We don't know. The Muslim League was not called to participate in the government itself, isn't it? So at this time, in 1939, the British government unilaterally declared that India too would participate in the Second World War. The congressmen in the cabinet resigned their posts. At this juncture, Muslim League celebrated Vimukti Diwas. It does not participate in the Quit India movement. It put forward its proposal for the partition of India. As these people did not call Muslim League for the participation of elections in 1937, these people, what they did not participate in the Quit India movement. They celebrated Vimukti Divas when British unilaterally declared, means not any discussion with any Indians. It declared that India should participate in World War II. The favor of whom? British, against the people of Germany. Okay, this was not acceptable. This was rude according to Congress people, and they resigned from their post. At this time, this Muslim League people celebrated Vimukti Divas as they were not called up for the 1937 elections. This was the main stone for the proposal of what? Partition of India. That is partition of Pakistan from India. So let us learn about farmers and laborers protest in the next part. Until then, it's bye bye from my passion Malathi. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Hey, wait, one main point. If you want notes regarding this chapter, please put it on the comment section. I'm here to teach you and guide you. Thank you. Bye bye.